When I was young and dumb, I really did think that if I got a college education and I got a high-paying job and I took care of my body and I stayed pretty and I read lots of books and I watched lots of TV and I learned about the things that men liked, like video games and things of that nature, and I got my own house and I had my own car and all these things, that I would be essentially the perfect woman for a man. And then TikTok happened and I really start hearing stories from other women and I realized that I really f***ed myself, because men don't like that.
Handsome ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. But today, guys, we have this woman right here that is going to be the only woman we'll cover today. It has a long line of thinking, and to be honest, guys, this woman is more interesting than the rest. Not going to just complain, she's going to make some solid points, and we have to figure out why this woman ended up single. All right, so let's get started, guys.
I was thinking about how in my adult relationships, in every single one, the men never tried to be better. And if they did, it was marginal to how I was trying to be better. And they would not be better unless they had a woman to be better for. But even their better is not the same version of my better. Now, when I was...
Alright, pause it right there. Now, this sounds like in a bad light, you know, she's trying to put it as something negative from men, that we just don't want to strive for better things as much as women do. But it's not actually the case. It's just that men have less expectations when in a relationship, and they just feel good without so many improvements. All right, it's not that men settle for something bad or just don't care enough about good things. No, it's just that women always have more expectations in a relationship. This is why most of them whine about their husbands not doing enough. But men, we're just thinking, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If the relationship is working and everything seems alright, there's no need to improve something that is already good enough. You know what I mean, guys? So I'm sure you do. It's not about us being negligent towards good things. It's just that women, they need more, they want more, they have more expectations, more demands, more needs in order to feel good.
Was young and dumb, I really did think that if I got a college education and I got a high-paying job and I took care of my body and I stayed pretty and I read lots of books and I watched lots of TV and I learned about the things that men liked, like video games and things of that nature, and I got my own house and I had my own car and all these things, that I would be essentially the perfect woman for a man. And then TikTok happened and I really start hearing stories from other women and I realized that I really f***ed myself, because men don't like that.
I don't know, guys. This woman tried her best, invested so much time into thinking and strategizing how to be approached by men, when it boils down to literally the basics. Just be a good person, be loyal, you know, don't cheat. And yeah, if you put time and effort into how you look, that's a positive. It's really, guys, it's the most simple thing. And funny part is, this woman, same as any other woman, she'll later mention she gets approached by a lot of men. So really, I don't know where these women are getting their ideas of male expectations, you know. I don't know who lied to them that men have this high, you know, list with 100 different demands. No, it's the most basic things.
In fact, men want a woman who's dependent on them, and I have never really allowed myself to be that girl. It's probably why my relationships don't work out, but it's a good thing. So I f***ed myself over in the way that I am not the perfect partner for a man. So if a man was the goal, I f***ed myself over. But if I'm the goal, I'm doing just exactly what I need to be doing, and I always did. And so men don't, like, they say they want a strong, independent woman. They say that they don't want...
literally no man has ever uttered those words. Never, never in human existence. In fact, I'll go as far to say that you give humanity 1,000,000 more years on this planet, there will still be not even a single man who will say the words, I want an independent woman. Never. Again, what men want are the basics, and men, I wouldn't say that they necessarily want their partners to be dependent on them. Now, yeah, most men do, in the same way that most women want a guy who is independent. Most women want a guy who earns more than them, and in the same way, most guys want a woman that earns less than them. It's just how the dynamic works. Not necessarily dependent. We don't want a woman who feels like a slave. It's just basic psychology.
A woman who's going to rely on them for everything, but then they get faced with that woman, and that woman is just like, listen, like, you better be bringing like some shit to the table and not be presenting me with red flags, or I'm going to see it because I'm a well-developed woman and I'm not going to want you, right? Hold on, I'm going to move the camera. So I was thinking about that and how men I've dated, and just men I know in general, they never even try to elevate themselves to that level, right? I essentially became the boyfriend I wanted for myself, but I'm the boyfriend, okay? I'm what I wanted in a partner. So why would I need a partner, right? And more than that, like, why would I want a male partner? Just because they're like that and they don't try. Like, they want romance and they want the emotional support, but they are very bad at giving it back to us. Why would I want that? You know? And so I've kind of resigned myself to like not wanting a boyfriend. And most of the boyfriends I've had, I never wanted to be in a relationship with those dudes. It just happened. So then I was like thinking about how men specifically have sort of tricked me into thinking that I'm this heartbreaker kind of a girl.
Before she continues, guys, just to mention one point mentioned a while ago, she said that she has become the boyfriend she's looking for. And yes, that is a problem, because women oftentimes are attracted to the same things in a man. Men are attracted to the same things in women. When you become masculine, you're just raising the bar too high. In the same way that, you know, women usually like guys who are tall. When you're a woman that is 6'2", you have a problem. Because women who are 5'5", they already have high expectations towards men being tall. But let's say that a 6 feet tall man can fulfill their needs. While when you're a woman that is 6'2", a 6 feet man won't settle, you know, won't do it. So you have to go for a man that's even taller than that. So the same thing happens with this case. She has become so masculine that multiple men that could have fulfilled her need of a masculine man are already not enough for her. So she has increased her standards even more. And, you know, be the way you want to be, but just accept that this is the way it is. In the same way that if a man is feminine and he doesn't want to do stereotypically masculine things that women like, he has to accept the fact that most women won't like him.
And how, you know, I play games with people or whatever, and how I'm very unemotional and I just don't give them what they need. Well, that's not true, because I've always been honest about how I don't want to date people, how I don't want to commit. Like, we can have our fun, we can have our mock romance, but even in my mind, whenever I'm romancing with a guy, I know that we're just pretending. This is a game. This is a game. So we're putting on a scene like we're actors in a movie, in a rom-com, but it's not real. It's not. And that's how I go about it in my mind most of the time. But then I'm still honest with them about how, like, okay, well, we can do all this stuff, but it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. Like, I'm just trying to have fun, just trying to make sure you have fun, but at the end of the day, this does not lead to me being your girlfriend. I don't want that.
Be honest, guys, leave me your opinions about this woman down in the comments. I'm gonna say an unpopular opinion probably, but I like this woman, not what she's doing, but I like this woman as a human. You know, she's way more intelligent. another woman on the channel, it can be clearly seen. She's also logical and cold. I like that. She's rational, you know, and I like her line of thinking. I like that she's successful, you know, really successful. I mean, she strives for the things she wants. She's not just your average boss babe that calls herself modern and independent because she has an OF account, or because she's just working a 9 to 5 and that somehow makes her CEO of the world, you see. No, I like this woman and I respect her choices. But the only thing I don't understand is why the high body count, though. It's you could have those high standards and high expectations if you didn't have a large body count, because you're putting in time, you're putting in effort, and hey, not every man likes and wants and desires what you're going after. But if that's what you want, go for it. And if you find a man, good. If you don't, you don't. Stick to your choices. You know, you can be a woman like this that is more masculine, that spends way more time on things that men don't stereotypically like. But you have to stand behind your choices if that's what you want to do. In the same way that a guy who, for example, decides to be a gardener and wants to have this lifestyle, you know, doesn't want to climb the corporate ladder, doesn't want to live with a lot of money, he prefers to live a easy life, you know, far away from society maybe, you know, stick behind your choices. You can do that, and I absolutely respect it. But as a guy, you have to understand that if you do that, you're not going to be liked by most women because you don't have the money. See, you don't have the lifestyle that they desire. So the same goes for this woman. Absolutely do respect her choices, but she has to understand that men are not going for that. And not only that, but she has got rid of the small chance to meet a man that will want that by having a large body count, because no man, no real man anyway, wants or accepts a woman with a high body count. I don't understand why she did that. We can see that even intelligent women who are not delusional, who are not brainwashed, who are not stupid, they still just don't understand that a high body count is the thing that men avoid the most. It just shows your priorities, essentially are just about yourself, that you're selfish and that you don't make for a good partner. Like, what hookups are is using other people to fulfill your most superficial and basic needs of needing attention, having your S3 needs met, and validation from strangers. It's not good assets to bring into a relationship. You know what I mean? So I really don't understand that, guys. I don't think that this woman needs the validation. I think that given the things that she has already done, and she has taken this path that is more demanding in terms of time and efforts, I don't understand why she had to go for the hookups with random strangers. Like, I don't know why she cares about that. But anyways, guys.
Sometimes they can convince me to do it, but then I already know we're going to break up because I never wanted to enter into that arrangement in the first place. But I was never a heartbreaker, because you cannot be considered that if you were always honest about your intentions. It does not matter what happens, because men be lying all the time. Okay, this is the same thing men do, only they like lie about it more. They'll romance you, they'll do all the things, and then they'll lie to you about what their intentions are. I don't lie. I'm like, we're gonna have this really romantic evening and then go back to being friends tomorrow, because this is just a game. You know, this is just a scene from a movie that we're reenacting. That's it. So no, I'm not a heartbreaker, nor am I unemotional. I'm actually pretty emotional. It's just, I don't know why I'd want to be vulnerable with every single person that I meet. And frankly, some people that you date are not worth being emotionally vulnerable with. And if they're not emotionally vulnerable with you, why would you do it back to them? That creates a power dynamic that is unhealthy. So, but these are the things that men will tell you to make you feel bad about how you address your dating life or your life in general, because basically you're not doing what they want you to do. And men can't stand that. They can't. So it's just funny to me, because I was just kind of like, I am probably never going to have a boyfriend again. And the only reason I would be for financial reasons. But even that has a time limit on it because they think that if you're financially dependent on them, that means that you're stuck with them and they can treat you however they want, which isn't true.
Wait, but didn't you have a high earning job? Didn't you have a car? Didn't you have a house of your own? Why would you be with a man? For financial reasons. Because you're a woman. That's it. And it's part of women's nature. They just want to feel protected. You know, they just want the man to provide. Makes them feel secure, no matter how much they are earning, right? She still is a woman. She can be more masculine, but deep down inside, she's still a woman and she has the needs of a woman. But again, you don't meet the criteria for men. Guys, it's like we don't expect from women to have cars, houses, to have education. We really the thing we want from women, and I'm speaking about 99% of men, right? There can be someone who says, "Oh, Hiran, I don't want that." Good for you, man. I'm speaking about most men in general. What we want is the bare minimum. Literally the bare minimum. Be a good person that your friends can be proud about, that your father and mother can be proud about, that they have a good daughter. Be a good person that other people can see that you're a good person and can be proud of you. Like literally the most basic thing. This is how we have friends, because we like them and we think they're good people. That's it. I don't think that that's somehow something hard, you know, or a high demand. And then the second thing, be loyal. You know, again, the most basic thing that makes families strong. And don't have a high body count, because a high body count oftentimes excludes the previous two mentioned. High body count may not necessarily lead to you cheating, but it certainly leads to you having less pair bonding ability, having less understanding of how a family works, having less mental energy, if you want to say, to stick to a partner. You know, it also means that not necessarily an evil person, but having a high body count in almost all of the cases leads to carrying a lot of baggage, having less patience, being less emotionally available. You know, all those things. It's like, it's so bad in so many ways that men, without even thinking about it, some men don't even realize it, but they just hate it. They just dislike women who have high body counts and have been around with multiple men.
It's just more like, well, you're going to help me financially if you want to be my boyfriend. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to put up with your bullshit either. Like, I can find another one for that, or I can make my own money. So there's that.
Yeah, she can make her own money, but regardless, guys, you have to provide for her. And then she mentioned I can meet another one. It just really goes to show that as a woman, this woman is in her 30s. You can be in your 30s, you can be masculine, you can have a lot of demands, you can have a large body count, but she herself mentions that already a lot of guys want to have a relationship with her, and they even call her a heartbreaker because of the multiple men that have wanted to be with her, but she hasn't accepted. It's just, women, guys, they have so many options. They can do a 180 on what a good woman is, and still they have a lot of options. Now, the problem for them is they don't want to settle these options, because a man who respects himself wouldn't be with a woman like this, and these women realize it. And they don't respect the man either, because he doesn't respect himself. So the thing that this woman wants is a man with self-respect, but that is mutually exclusive with her past. She's just locked herself in a corner. This is why, guys, I don't understand why women, they just can't get through their heads that they don't have to have a colorful past if they want a man with self-respect.
So I'm like, okay. So it doesn't really matter what I do, as long as I don't enter into a relationship that I don't want to be in with a guy who isn't even going to elevate himself to my level. And that would be really hard, I think, for a man to do at this point. Because I'm not even just talking about the fact that I went to college and I own my own home and I've done all these things. I'm talking about like the more like emotional, like mental stuff that I've done of working on myself to try to heal, developing emotional intelligence, really learning how to accept and speak all of the love languages, like basically doing my research on how to be a good person.
Yeah, you see, that's what I like about her. Like, she doesn't just go with the flow. She has direction, and I really respect that, and I like that in people. She does her research. You know, she's trying to learn whatever. She always knew what she wanted and chased after it. I really respect that. But madam, you literally missed the most basic thing. Like, you're going down this path, and there is a massive 1 mile long boulder in your way, and somehow you missed it. Like, how is it possible that after all this research, all the effort you've put into understanding dating and men, you haven't understood that the most basic thing when it comes to men is don't have a large body count? I don't get this, guys. If someone can explain this to me, how did you miss the most important thing? If you would have done that, she speaks a lot about guys being on my level. What is your level? She mentioned, I'm not talking about financially, whatever. I'm talking about being a good person. Well, guys who are good people and who are good dating options, madam, they're already light years ahead of you. Like, they've left you a long time ago. You could have had that Prince Charming a long time ago when you didn't have a high body count. Now it's over. Now no man with self-respect will think that you're a good dating option.
How to be a good partner. Men don't do that. They just expect that, like, they're good the way they are, and they're not. So, like, it would take so much work for them at this point to get to where I'm at. And I don't think I should accept anything less than that. But also, if you get to...
Notice how she got it all wrong, guys. She thinks that she's ahead of the good guys who have to become even better for her. But in reality, she's really a... She doesn't have a high value on the market, the dating market. She really has not. She's over 30. She has a large body count. As mentioned, even by herself, men clearly don't care that you have a home, that you have a house, a home and a car, that you have education. You yourself mentioned at the beginning of the video that men don't want this. So why does that make you feel that you are ahead? You're not ahead, madam. Men don't want to heal with you and to risk their assets for being with you. No, they want a woman who they can grow with. And when you're 30, you've already missed 10 years of your best life. And you're close to hitting the wall. You're close to the menopause. You're close to just growing old, not having time, etc. You've missed the best part that men most value. Guys, as mentioned, if a guy has spent all his money on hookers and on gambling and asks this woman out, hey, do you want to marry me even though I don't have money to pay the bills? She wouldn't accept that, but she expects a man to accept being with her regardless of her past. Doesn't make no sense to me.
And I don't think I should accept anything less than that. But also, if you get to a point where you're that independent and you can see all this shit, most of the time you're not going to want a partner. Because realistically, what can that partner provide for you that you can't already provide for yourself? And that's kind of the toss-up, is once you get to that point, it's like you're getting to that point because you want to be a better person so you can find love, but once you get to that point, you realize you're all you need.
This woman is starting to lose me, guys. I liked her more, but she's starting to make no sense at all. Well, she mentions, why do I need a partner? Well, because your car and your house are clearly not enough. You still feel alone. You still need a man. I don't understand how you cannot clearly see that material stuff doesn't fill in the hole you have in your heart, right? It doesn't fill your soul with joy. Having all those things, you are more than independent. Bravo, you have the title already. You've accomplished everything you've set your goals for, you know. But still, you are here on TikTok making a 10-minute monologue about why you're single. So you clearly care, right? I mean, you clearly feel alone. You clearly want a man. You don't have all your needs fulfilled. So why don't you understand that? She keeps asking the question, but she always replies with, but I have a house and a car, so why do I need a man? Because love and relationships are not about providing cars and houses. You get that?
and you don't need that, because anything you're going to accept is going to be less. But then if you are less than, you know, what you want to be, if you're less than the best version of yourself, you're more prone to accept subpar treatment from your partners and get yourself into a lot of trouble and a lot of heartache. And so it's kind of like, it's a skewed game, but I really do feel like it comes from not just men, but like there are women definitely who do this too, where it comes from a place of like people not wanting to work on themselves to make themselves a better people, and people who can take care of themselves, but also have it within themselves to help other people take care of themselves, but also not get taken advantage of. Like there is definitely a way that both people can be beneficial to the other, but you rarely see those people hooking up. And it's just a really sad realization, but I don't know that I'm sad about it. It's just kind of like, okay, so that's probably not going to happen. And like, I'm okay with that, but it's like, then how do I spice things up, you know, in my life if I'm going to walk away from dating? Because that's not worth it. It's actually just takes me several steps backward. So I'm like, okay, so just
I'm gonna pause it right here, guys, just to mention there's only 20 seconds left of the video, but notice how the house, the car, her job, her 9 to 5, situationships, all of that, they just don't fill in the blank space in her heart. She has it all, right? She has money, she has chased her financial dreams, she has a lot of hookups, as she mentioned, she has had a lot of boyfriends, but she says, well, what am I gonna do to spice it up, you know? She's so empty inside, and it's almost sad. She doesn't realize what she's missing out. That is the, what can I say, the soul component. You know, relationships are not just about the superficial sex, money, and whatever superficial there is. There's more. There's, you know, real love is about something more than just providing or taking care of the most superficial needs of each other. It's something more deep, and this woman is so cold and has grown so, you know, so empty that she doesn't understand that she's missing the most important aspect of it, which aspect cannot be accomplished because she has had a high body count. And this, guys, this inability to understand relationships at their core and understand real love would absolutely be due to her being on a lot of hookups. Because this is what they do, guys, just changing people all the time, changing from one man to another, using them to fulfill your needs, not their needs. You just care about yourself. This is what you do with hookups. All of this changes your mindset. It changes your concept of relationships. It changes your understanding. It makes you more blind to love and all of that. It's just there's so many negatives to hookup culture, while the benefits are the most superficial ones. The benefits only benefit you, and they benefit you for a short while, and for the long run they just harm you so much that you become a person like this, a person who doesn't understand what men actually want, a person who doesn't understand how relationships work, and a person who will never be able to provide their partner what they need. If this woman somehow got into marriage, she still wouldn't understand what it's about, and she will probably sabotage it without knowing, just because she wouldn't feel good in that place.
Complete new train of thought going into the next year, where I don't want any of that. Like I want to just find a way to make things work by myself and not worry about if anybody else is going to come into my life, because I don't really need it, because it's not worth it.
Yeah, and it's the TikTok, guys. Thank you if you've made it this far. Maybe you like the short videos more, but personally I do enjoy these ones that are longer and there is only one woman, because we can go deeper, you know, and talk about more profound things. So thank you if you've made it till the end. I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like if that's the case, and leave me your comments down below, guys. This woman says, for the next year, I'm gonna try to be alone because I really don't need a man. Madam, if you didn't need a man, you wouldn't be making a 10-minute monologue talking about it. You know what I mean, guys? Like, things I don't worry about, I don't post a 10-minute video on the internet talking about it. You know what I mean? But this woman, guys, is blinded. So there's that. She's just going to be single, and trust me, she'll never feel that hole. She'll never feel that need of a man with cars and houses. But thank you now for watching, guys. Leave you off here, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.